Hey everybody, welcome back to WildCare. Today, you probably already know, is not just the 5th of May, it's also the Giving Tuesday Now, which is a global day of giving and unity, and we thought that we would bring out Sequoia, one of everyone's favorite wildlife ambassadors, in honor of this very, very special day of giving and a very special day of thinking about. Thank you, Herman. Herman's joining in. Thinking about animals, thinking about organizations that you care about, thinking about all of the ways in this crazy time that we are, taking care of the things that need to be taken care of and doing the things that need to be done. That's kind of what Giving Tuesday Now is all about. So Melissa, I think we've met Sequoia before, but tell us a little about her.
Okay, so she is a northern spotted owl. There are 3 different types of spotted owls. There's the northern spotted owl, the California spotted owl, and the Mexican spotted owl. Of the 3, she's probably, the Mexican spotted owl is probably more rare, but they are a threatened species, meaning they're just above endangered, which means there's not a lot.
Just below endangered, you mean?
Just below endangered, yes. Just below endangered means they're not left in the wild. And the reason for that is habitat fragmentation or habitat destruction, so logging, wildfires created by humans.
Right.
Another one is the barred owl, which was not originally here in this territory, but migrated in. And the difference, of course, you have your spots here and your spotted owl. On the barred owl, you have your bars. Okay? And the reason why this is such a invasive species, if you will, is because they're actually more aggressive than a spotted owl, and they breed more often, so they outcompete in every aspect of the spotted owl, and they chase them out of the territory. And then sometimes we're coming across where both of them are bred together.
I find that fascinating that it's possible for the 2 different species. So that's the northern spotted owl and the barred owl, which has made its way over to the west coast, that they can actually interbreed. And so there is actually a risk that the northern spotted owl may not exist as its own species any longer at some point because of that.
And one the fascinating things that Sequoia also provides by always being a representative is that we've actually had scientists come in and take her genome, and she's doing a genome study because she is a true northern spotted owl.
Yeah, we got her at WildCare before the barred owl came into her habitat, came into the territory. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
And that's really important where you know where your the true northern owl species is, because if you're ever going to do a reintroduction, you want to have that bloodline.
Right.
So she's very, very important for the future of her species as well. If they decide to do that at any point. She's 15 this year.
Is she turning 15? What is that in owl years, I wonder?
That's probably like 70.
Is it?
Yeah.
So she's an older lady.
She's an older lady. Usually they live to 8 to 10 years in the wild.
Okay.
If she is threatened, I always say go ahead and take that number down every year.
Sure.
Until you start to see a recovery. With us, though, she could live to be in her mid-20s.
Okay.
So definitely a few more years. And we got her when she was
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you,
Victoria just donated.
And what had happened to her was she was hanging out in her tree with a nest, and she fell out of that tree. She could have fell out of that tree because maybe there was a storm that came through. They're also, when they're learning how to fly, they're a little goofy, so she just straight up fell out.
Yep, we get a lot of those guys coming. We do actually get spotted owls coming in that have they're branchers. Branchers is the name for that type of. Thanks, Victoria. We love you too. That age of the baby owl, and so they've hopped out of the nest and they're hop flying around on the various branches. And yep, they frequently topple down and end up on the ground. And so yeah, that's likely what happened with Sequoia. Exactly.
Yeah, and she actually hit her wing on the way down. So she came from Larkspur, so nice big redwood trees there, which is where her natural habitat is. And there was too much damage to that wing, and the tendon in that wing shrunk, meaning that she can't fly silently, which is what she would have to have in order to survive in the wild, because not only are they sight hunters, they're stealth hunters.
Right.
So the silent flight is what is key for her to sneak up on maybe wood rats or small rodents in a forest or a shrubbed area. So
right.
Very, very quiet when you
Tell us a little bit about her habitat.
So her habitat are old redwood forests,
right.
growth redwood forests, which we have spotted throughout California. Anywhere where it's going to have a nice big trees where they can take over a nest, because they actually don't build their own nest.
Interesting.
So they take over the nest of maybe another owl or a hawk, or just in a dead tree. That's really important. Plus, that type of habitat also provides a variety of items that she can eat or prey. She can eat bats, snakes, insects, the wood rat, flying squirrels.
Oh, interesting.
Anything like that. So in order for any species really to do really well, they've got to have a great habitat with a variety of food to eat.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. Oh, Victoria says her son Avi wanted me to donate for the owl. He loves Sequoia.
Yeah, Sequoia is probably one of the most, well, we have a few of them here, but definitely when I go out into school, she's definitely one of the most recognizable. They always ask me, did you bring Sequoia? I'm like, yes, I did.
Heather wants to know what she's looking at, and it's kind of funny. I'm trying to get like an angle that we can look at her little face. There you are, you beautiful girl. It's funny because she was looking at you, and I don't know if she was watching your lips move.
Yeah, she tends to watch me when I talk.
She is. She's so interesting. So, of course, Sequoia is an owl, and that means she's nocturnal. Mm-hmm. And that means that this is the middle of the night for her. So that's why we're a little bit blinky. But you said you hadn't fed her yet today, right?
I did not, and I actually do have some
So
food.
just a warning, everyone knows that the owls do eat rodents. So that is what we are going to be giving her. It's not a live rodent. It's a defrosted rodent. But just letting you know, we're going to give that to her now. Oh, what do we think of that? Oh, that woke us right up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't know there was food being offered today.
Yeah, she's like, oh,
Yeah.
I get a little snack out of this. So it's important to point out that we do feed dead animals. A lot of people think that we feed live. We don't feed dead for several reasons. One, or alive for several reasons is one, some of the injuries that our animals have, the prey can fight back and hurt them. Rodents are very messy, so we want to make sure everything's kept nice and clean in their enclosures. Another, of course, is that it's not really humane for us to do that if we have the option to feed dead. So those are just a few reasons why we feed dead. And plus, some of these guys wouldn't know what to do with live.
Right.
They would be scared of it.
Yep, absolutely. If you've been in captivity your whole life, that's for sure.
Yeah, so she gets just 3 of these a day. So she eats about 60
Does she?
grams.
Okay. That's a fair number. And do you give them all to her at once usually? Or
I do.
Space it out a little bit? Okay.
And also what can trigger eating or not eating is also if it's hot. If it's hot, they tend to not...
That's interesting.
Not to eat. So when you go out and look for, maybe you're doing bird watching or raptor watching, you want to go really early in the morning or really towards the end of the day when it's nice and cool. Those are the 2 times where these guys are going to go eat because, again, they're energy efficient. They don't want to waste their energy in the heat.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
They're going to sit, they're going to wait, and also the prey is really not going to come out in the heat unless they have to either. So that's usually when the prey comes out. So it's usually very early in the morning, later in the afternoon, if we're talking a season like spring or summer.
Right. That makes sense. She's clearly more interested in watching your lips move than she is in her mouse today.
We can try to see if we can see the back of her head. So I always talk about this with the kids about they're able to do the 270 degrees.
In terms of how far they can turn their neck? That is crazy. How much can humans do? Oh my gosh, look at that!
We can do 90.
Okay.
The other raptors, as far as a hawk and falcon, can do 180. She can do 270.
That is amazing.
Isn't that
Look
neat?
at how far she's got her head. And here it comes back around the other way. Sorry, the lighting is a little bit challenging here, but hopefully you all can see that. That is just amazing. What a cool thing.
And the reason they can do that is because of the bones in the neck. If you feel the bones in your neck, we have 7. Even a tall giraffe has 7. She has 14.
Okay.
So where the myth came in is that they can do it so quickly in either direction, it looks like their heads are spinning around.
I feel like if the head went all the way around, the head would probably come off.
That's what I asked.
Yes.
I'm like, so what happens if we turned around? Oh, we die. I'm like, it's the same for them, trust me.
But 270 degrees is really amazing.
Very impressive.
And the reason they need that amount of mobility in the neck is
because of the way that their eyes are set in their skull. If we look at an owl skull, you'll notice that the eyes are very, very huge. They actually take up most of this skull. There's only a very tiny little percentage that we use for the skull for brain. So if you have to take up that much room, you can't move your eyes up, down, left, and right without turning your head all the way around.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. So if you're watching this and you can move your eyes to the left and you can move your eyes to the right and you can do that without turning your head, but because her eyes are so big inside those sockets, she is not able to move her actual eyeballs, so she has to move her head.
It's like, for us, a good analogy would be if we had owl eyeballs, our eyeballs would be the size of oranges. So if you can imagine that. And, you know, how much space that takes up. And their brain, you know, we always hear that they're wise and intelligence is relative. But if we were talking weight, It's only 2 pennies. That's how much their brain weighs.
Oh, interesting. So most of that skull is taken up with eyeballs. Yep.
Tiny little room for brain. 2 little pennies is what it weighs. In comparison to our mammal brain is 3 pounds.
Aha. Yep. Significant difference there.
But she has what she needs to survive, so that to me is intelligent. But
Of course. And I have to say, she does far better in dark woods than I ever would.
yeah, she does. She does. Yeah, she's absolutely a wonderful ambassador. She's great for scientific reasons, for educational reasons, just for, and again, working with the hospital and the hospital working with us.
Yep.
When we have patients come in, we can always reference Sequoia and go, okay, well, what does she do, or vice versa.
Right,
So
right.
really
We do
great
treat,
exchange.
I should have looked up how many spotted owls we treat a year, but I would say it's probably, 5 to 10 northern spotted owls that we admit into the wildlife hospital every year. And of course, those are wild owls that will be able to return to the wild. And Sequoia is one of our educational animals that, because she injured herself when she was an owlet, she would not be able to survive in the wild. She's not able to fly silently. So that's why she's here as an educational animal. She's so funny. I was thinking we should be a little more lively today, but she is, interested in something. Now she sees my toes.
Yeah, she's like, are those mice?
Are those mice? Is that exactly? It's funny because you see the animals here in the courtyard, and they spend all of their time watching what happens with people going back and forth. Obviously, not as many people right now without our amazing volunteers, but they will be. If a mouse runs across the courtyard, I guarantee these guys see it. They are paying attention.
Oh, they can hear everything in the walls too, and you're like, guess there must be a mouse over there.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, but she's absolutely wonderful, and if you were here at night, sometimes we can hear her hoot, which is a real treat.
Yeah, such a cool call that they have. Well, Sequoia, I think we're going to let you enjoy your lunch. Maybe take a postprandial nap when you're back in your enclosure. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting WildCare. Thank you for supporting the other causes that mean so much to you today on Giving Tuesday Now. Please visit us online at discoverwildcare.org and be with us tomorrow here on Facebook at 1 o'clock. We will be doing another live stream. So fun. And everybody stay healthy. We'll just get a good look at her here. She's do a little bit of blinking for us.
I could. There we go. There you go. There you go.
Wake her up just a little bit. There we go. Yep, absolutely. And it's funny because when you do that, you can't hear it all. It's really funny because you do that with one of the hawks and you'll be able to hear a little bit. And with Sequoia, you can't hear it all. Those muffling feathers truly are amazing. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Have a lovely afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.